to bring together a group of remarkable people. To see if we could become something more. So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
G'day. Philip, we're late. We're late, and I'm blaming you. You.
Not my fault. Nothing to do with me, boy.
It's your fault. Anything goes wrong, we just blame Philip. Look at him lying back there. Philip reminds me of a politician ready to go into the door to fall asleep when the Taoiseach starts talking. Do you remember your man got caught falling asleep when they were in the centre during the pandemic?
Oh yeah, I mean it's been quite common. You see the House of Commons as well. Sometimes the show.
Yeah, the House of Commons is quite funny actually.
In the back row, they're all snoring.
Yeah. We've passed legislation. Yeah, whatever. Dermot's talking nonsense. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, the Premier League review, where me and Philip will go over the Premier League weekend and see if we got our predictions right from when we did the preview. Yeah. Now, Philip has got them here. Look at them. Look at them. Unprofessional. Never ready.
Actually, I hope I do have them here. Hold on.
Yeah, Philip's just got back from South Africa. South African Rugby Union asked him to come over there to present them with the trophy in South Africa. So he's just back today, as you can see.
Yes, I have them here now.
Yeah, and basically, Philip has now rigged this that he will now come out on top.
How could I rig it? We did this on Friday evening.
This is rigged.
But we're not going for the scores, but we're only going for the results, right?
Yeah.
The result count.
And this show's so popular, there's nobody even in the comments yet, Philip. That's how popular this show's turned out to be.
Yeah, I know. See, we're normally at 4 o'clock, and you've been late. It's caused this, so it's your fault.
It's not me. It's you. Can we blame Putin? Can we blame the Russians?
He's supposed to be dead.
When?
Rumor has it. Rumor has it he died of a heart attack there at the weekend, but that's not unconfirmed, obviously. You know. Yeah,
I'll double check with my chief executive of the THFC channel if she can find. Yeah, my better half, my wife, my common sense, my anchor, my the person that Putin has died over the weekend. Apparently,
there's only a rumor now.
It's only a rumor, but I will ask.
I've seen it in the news. But
apparently it has been in the news, Philip.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
I didn't read that.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. Philip, we're breaking news. We can blame Putin now. We're blaming him. Anyway, Philip, what are you doing?
I got the Arsenal score right. I said they win 5-0, they did. You had Sheffield United to win that one.
I'm telling you, this is rigged. This is rigged into Philip Brady's favour. Now, how this works is it's 3 points for a win, 2 points for a draw, 1 point for getting the result nearly right. So we do give ourselves a point.
Right, I'm afraid, Dermot. I'll give you the results later, but
yeah, I think I've lost this one.
Right, carry on. All will be revealed.
As you can see, this show is a complete mess. We're not on up 4, and it's a complete chaos. And I'm blaming him. Right, let's start with Friday night, Philip. Match day 10, of course. It is match week 10 of the Premier League of the 23-24 season. Philip, look, before we get into the results, how do you think the Premier League has been so far this season for you? Have you enjoyed it, actually, the football we've seen, or do you feel it's a slow burn?
I've enjoyed the Spurs end of it, obviously, because we're unbeaten after 10 matches. I could never think that was going to happen. I wouldn't say I'm overly impressed with a lot of the other, but there's been a lot of pretty drab matches, you know. But the Spurs ones have been good, and the occasional good game between the other teams. I'm surprised that Chelsea haven't improved a bit. That they're really in the doldrums at the minute, and I think we all predicted that Sheffield United would probably go back down. It looks very much like that's going to happen. So, yeah, it's been okay. It's been okay as long as Spurs keep winning. That's all I want.
That's it. That's all we do want, Philip. Well, let's get and kick into it. Look, for me, I think the Premier League is always a slow burner. The first couple of months is always them. It's like a boxing match. They're trying to find each other out as the big teams trying to get into their positions. But Tottenham are throwing a hand grenade into the middle of this and just blown it wide open for me. But let's start. Of course, up Friday night, we played Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Referee, of course, was Andy Madley, who was as useful as a referee as sending
a chocolate teapot.
Yeah, that's how useless he was. Look, we won 2-1. Joe Ward own goal after 53 minutes. Sonny then after 66. And Jordan Ayew, who should not have stood after VAR.
Probably shouldn't have been on the pitch at the time for all the fouls he did during the game.
VAR took, I've done this now out. They took let me get this right. They took 8 minutes or 9 minutes to make that decision.
Oh, no, it didn't take that long, Dermot.
It took that long, Philip.
No.
Well, it took 4 minutes. Yeah, it was longer. Well, I worked it out. I read somewhere it was 8 minutes. That's why I'm saying it.
No, it wasn't that long. It wasn't that long. It was close. It seemed that long. It seemed that long, but it wasn't. It wasn't that long.
But the point is, Philip, it took longer to sort it out than it should have done. But look, let's talk first.
It should have been sorted out far earlier. But anyway.
Yeah. Let's talk about Spurs. A good win. As we see the stats there. Now, if you went by the stats, it looked like we struggled, apart from the possession. But a good win for Spurs keeps us unbeaten. Philip went 5 points clear at the top of the league. So where do you see Tottenham after 10 games now? How impressed have you been with top of the league?
I see them top of the league, which is now. Don't shoot me for saying this, but they're reminding me a bit of Arsenal last season. Nobody gave Arsenal a prayer. And they come out and we're top of the league after 10 matches like we are now. Yeah. I'm only hoping that we keep it going longer than Arsenal did. No, we're playing like, okay, the statistics are 75% possession, right? That's right. One shot on target. That wasn't good. We didn't really pepper the goalkeeper like we should have done. But that being said, apart from the last couple of minutes when Palace got that totally undeserved goal, when they might have put a bit of pressure. I mean, Porro did a great block at the end and might have stopped an equaliser. Other than that, we were never in any risk in that game because Palace just couldn't find. Our defence was so strong, they couldn't find their way through it. I know they had a load of corners, 11 corners, I think, but they didn't threaten from any of them.
No. And you look at the passes there, touches, 10 shots on target, Philip, 943 touches, 732 passes, 20 tackles. Look, if you're looking at the Palace way, how unimpressed were you with Crystal Palace? Because Roy Hodgson came out in a post-match interview and sort of criticised the younger players, which I think was a little bit damn out of order.
Yeah, I don't think Palace probably showed us too much respect if you can do that. I think that as the home team, the onus is on them to come at us, But there's one stat that's not in there, Dermot, and I think it's been proven it's now a record for Spurs. The amount of passes Romero did during the match, 141 passes. Now, most of those were tippy backies over and back with Van der Ven. They were playing kind of tennis between themselves,
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. 141 passes for a defender is something else. It really is. In fact, the whole Palace team didn't manage as many passes in the game. I don't think they barely 220 you've got up there. But that's for 11 players to manage 220, and one man can do 141. It's incredible.
Referee and VAR, Philip, what's your verdicts on that?
I thought Andy Madley, you need to have got a gun out and shot someone to get him to take his yellow cards out. He was letting Palace away with murder, especially Jordan Ayew. He was he was warned before half time. The referee warned him. First thing he does in the second half is another bad foul and doesn't get booked for it. So what's the point in warning someone? Don't book them afterwards. The VAR, the ball brushed off his arm. That goal should have been disallowed, but they gave him the benefit of the doubt. But
now
bad
I want to talk to you about that, Philip. Look, the ball hit his chest and it ran on down to it. And do you think he controlled it with his hand, or do you think?
Well, he didn't move the hand towards the ball.
Yeah, where did you think the benefit of the doubt came in?
Well, I think the fact that his arm was static, it wasn't moving.
Yeah.
If he'd have shown any movement to the ball at all, it would have been done offside or handball. But he didn't, and it was who was in the VAR booth. It was what do you call him? Oh,
I know who. I can't think of his name. Yeah,
doesn't matter anyway. But it doesn't matter who's in the VAR. As we can see from some of the matches on Saturday, they're incapable of getting it right.
Yeah, they are. They're very
really are.
Big up to Carl Simpson. Hey guys, hope you're well.
Carl.
We are grand. Sorry about being late. It is a bank holiday over here today. So me and Philip decided, you know what, it's a bank holiday. We're going to be a bit rebellious and just go on a little bit late. But yeah, we'll be back to normal on Wednesday. At 4:00 Wednesday. We've got Carl Simpson. Love seeing Spurs have to win another way. It breeds confidence. All that matters is those beautiful 3 points. Exactly, Carl. And I enjoyed it. What do you think of the Formula One last night, Carl? I enjoyed it. Phillips called it a bit pedestrian. The bit I saw of it now, only saw the latter end of it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the tactic side of it and the strategy and how the drivers would have to make certain tires expand the life cycle of a tire that really did have no right going to the end, and that. So let me know what you thought, Carl. But I enjoyed it, and of course, Max Verstappen won his 16th race of the season. Has set a new record for most wins in one Formula One season. So he is breaking records left, right, and centre. And there's only three races left now, which we will be covering two of them. Me and Philip are doing the Brazilian Grand Prix and the last race of the season in Abu Dhabi. And yes, we are sending Philip out to both. We're going to send them out in commercial airways and send them out there.
I only go business class, by the way.
Well, it's a bit late now.
Thought I'd throw that one in.
Now, joking. Yeah, of course you would. Yeah, because you're posh. Right.
No, I'm not. Jesus.
Match week 10, because Saturday the 28th of October, Philip. Let's start it because we had the lunchtime game. Now, who won out of the Tottenham Palace for our predictions?
We both went for a Spurs win. You went 4-0, I went 2-0, but we're not worried about the scores, but we both got 2 points for that one.
So 3 points.
Or 3 points. I did 2 points. Is it 3? Oh,
3 for a win. Yeah,
3 for a win. What, 1.5 for a draw, is it?
3 points for a win, 2 points for a draw. And nothing for a defeat.
3, 2.
Now,
3.
Of course, it was at Stamford Bridge, Philip. The lunchtime kickoff, Chelsea against Brentford. Now, we both hummed and hard about this on the preview. Would Chelsea win? Would Poch get a win over Brentford? And it turned out Brentford stung Chelsea. After Chelsea played well in the first half, to be fair.
Yeah, neither of us got this. You went for a draw and I went for a Chelsea win, so neither of us got that. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea again. they've got a problem in the second half of games against
Mm.
Arsenal. They were very good in the first half against Arsenal, and once Arsenal got a goal back in, they fell apart.
Mm.
I mean, I think the second goal for Brentford was comical. It was like wacky races. The goalkeeper chasing Mbeumo back and getting nowhere near him in the end, or did get near him, but couldn't stop the ball going in the net. So, devastating result for Pochettino. And I mean, I'm beginning to wonder what sort of reception he's going to get when he comes back to our place next week, because some of the things he said at Chelsea have not gone down well with Tottenham fans. And at last, I'm at a team that wants to win something, which is a bloody insult. And as far as I'm concerned, he can go to hell, and I hope they boo the hell off him when they get back next Monday night. But anyway, that's only me. Yeah, so another Chelsea are I was just saying there, Dermot, Pochettino saying that it's good to be at a club that wants to win something. I think that was a direct insult to Tottenham.
I do.
I hope the hell he gets a terrible reception when he comes back next Monday night.
I do. And look, he was complaining about the second goal that Brentford scored. The goalkeeper going up.
Because the goalie, he probably didn't tell the goalie to go up. That's probably why.
Yeah. Look, for me, Chelsea, for me, are flattering to deceive. They've spent over $1 billion on transfer money, Philip, on players that they're not a team. He's just buying for individuals. And Poch, for me, does not have the tools to put a winning team together. I'm sorry, he doesn't. He's not a winner. Poch is not a winner. You could put Coco the Clown at PSG and still win the French league over there. You really could. And for me, Poch is not a winner. And I think Poch overachieved at Tottenham. And I think he's been found out now that he's not this great manager everyone thought he was. And it won't be long before Chelsea sack him, tried to get Zidane in. That'd be the next thing. As for me, Brentford deserved that second half performance, deserved that win. And it's good 3 points for Brentford, I have to say, Philip. Really deserved.
Brentford are a decent team. Brentford are a team. One of the teams I don't fancy playing. Okay, we drew with them the first day of the season, but they're a good. Thomas Frank has done a great job there. And remember, we were talking about him maybe coming to Tottenham before Ange was appointed.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy, and I like to see teams like Brentford doing well.
I was a great. I was for Thomas Frank be our new manager. You knew I was always a top person for that. Now, Carl is saying, I enjoyed the Formula One. It gives me confidence for more competitive completion next season. Yeah, I think it will be, Carl. But me and Philip
Somebody else win a race for a change.
Yeah, we are going to get into that now in the next week, and we're going to start. And Carl, maybe you want to join us for this and get involved in the channel. Just doing your bits, what you think for the preview and the season. We've got loads of new things coming up. And Carl also says, Philip's on the starting grid at Abu Dhabi chatting to Martin Brundle, and the after parties with the celebrities players are going to play. Yeah, we're sending them out there. He didn't want to go to Brazil for some reason, but he wants to go to Abu Dhabi. So we send them out there. We're giving them a dinghy to sit in where they have all the boats. Philip's going to have his little THFC till he die dinghy with a little flag, and he's going to be there. So there you go. And we're going to Monaco in that dinghy as well next season, Philip, you and me.
Only we're sailing down to Monaco.
Yeah, we're going to sail it. Carl's going to sail us there. And Colin says, don't worry, Dermot, I am alive. Yeah, I was a bit worried about you, mate, after yesterday. We haven't got the Man United yet, so keep watching. Keep watching. Now, you sent me a message. Can you just let me know if that is the up-to-date information, if you can? You know what I'm talking about. So look, the stats there, Philip, Chelsea have more possession, but as we saw with Tottenham, possession doesn't mean everything, Philip.
No.
But what do you think's going wrong with Poch? Do you think it's the number of players he's got, or do you think Chelsea will come good at the end? And will Brentford eventually, just on the top of that, Philip? Sorry, will Brentford stay up to be safe this season? Do you think?
Oh, no doubt, Brentford will stay up. No problem. As for Chelsea, I hope they can come good all the like after we deliver them a spanking next week. Because I think the problem with Chelsea, there are too many players, right? Too hard to integrate a team. Like, we've got a settled team.
Yeah.
Whereas Pochettino has too many players to pick from. He has an interfering chairman who apparently insists on certain players are picked in the team regardless of what form they're in. So I think it's a recipe for disaster for Poch. Now, we said he'd be sacked by Christmas. I think he mightn't even make it that far, because look at the next 3 games Chelsea have got. They've got Ulster, got Newcastle. I don't know what the other one is, but they've got 3 really tough matches coming up.
Do you think, Philip, that our game on Monday today week with them is, if he loses that, he'd be really under pressure?
He will be under pressure. He's under pressure as it is. I think he'd be under a lot of pressure, especially, you know how the Chelsea fans hate Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like, they spend half the games chanting that, not even watching their own team, but chanting about us. We're living rent free in Chelsea fans' heads at the minute. So if we beat them next Monday night, the fans are going to start turning on them.
Yeah, I mean, fans have gone on TalkSport and saying we need to give Poch time. Let's back. Some fans are going, let's back Poch. Getting rid of him would be suicide and all this.
Graham Potter didn't get a chance either. He got sacked.
Yeah. Do owners look at the league table, and this is Levy involved in this as well, Philip, right? Do owners look like a Chelsea or a Tottenham and they see top 4? And if they know we're nowhere near going to get top 4, they start getting itchy fingers on the trigger.
Yeah.
They think, you know what, we better shoot this guy sack this guy and get some of them, might get a stop, like we did with Conte.
Yeah. Well, especially Todd Boehly, or whatever you call him at Chelsea. I think he's got his finger on the trigger all the time. He's waiting to pull it.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't give Potter a chance, in my opinion.
No, he didn't. Now, Philip, of course, the South Londoners down the road, the team that live in South London.
Oh, well, the only good thing about this is I got the score prediction right. I said they'd win 5-0. No, 4-0. Sorry, I went 4-0. I was 1 out. You know. Yeah, you had Arsenal to win 2-0, so you had them to win as well. Not going to talk about them. I'm not going to waste my time talking about them, because they're not worth it.
But look,
I mean, Sheffield United are whipping boys now, really. You know. Hello.
Sorry.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. Bournemouth against Burnley.
Yeah, controversial game, this one.
This is the weirdest game going, Philip. How would you describe it out of, look, Bournemouth won, Burnley have lost again. How would you describe this game? If an alien comes down from outer space, right, and they saw this was the first game they saw, how would you describe it to them? Bizarre.
Well, I turned over the Soccer Saturday around 4:45 on this one, right? And they were saying Burnley had scored an equaliser, but the VAR was looking at it. And Mike Dean was there, and even he couldn't make out what was going on. They reckon they drew the line, the crooked line, a green line, came up on side initially. Now, this one did take about 8 minutes to sort out.
Yeah.
And I believe that then eventually the goal was disallowed, but then I believe after that, Burnley should have had a penalty for handball, and it wasn't given. So it was a very, very strange game. Unlucky for Burnley now. I'd say that was the first 6-pointer of the relegation battle, that game.
I'd say so.
Burnley are in big trouble now. I mean, for all the good football that Vincent Kompany plays, it's not transferring from the Championship to the Premiership.
No.
And he's going to have to. I think he's going to have to go back to the old kick and run stuff that Burnley was pretty good at in the day.
Yeah. What do they have to do, Philip, to change it? Do you think he has to change his philosophy completely?
Well, not completely, but he's got to tweak it. Playing Burnley is like playing an open book. You just walk straight. You go straight through them. I think they're going to have to become more defensively sound, and just don't like. I think this gung ho attack. It's great. It's a bit of the Ozzy Ardiles famous 5. It's great to look at, but doesn't get you any points. So I think that he's going to have to become a little bit more pragmatic and try and shore up that defense a bit and stop losing games, especially the teams in the same area of the league as themselves. You know,
I think so. I do. Look, where does Bournemouth go, Philip? Because they sacked Gary O'Neill, which was a bizarre decision to start off with.
Crazy.
Where does Bournemouth go? Because look, we know they're going to be struggling with Burnley. Where would you put Bournemouth in that relegation battle, Philip? Would you put them there, or would you?
They're there. There'll be a player in the relegation. I'm not saying they'll go down. There's every chance they might go down because the results have been pretty poor, but they are going to be in the bottom 6.
Oh,
they're going to be in the bottom 6, and may well go down. I just can't really predict at this stage.
No, No, there isn't. Right. Sorry, Philip. I was just checking out something. I got information, so I just wanted to make sure.
Right. Well, the score we both went for. You went for a Burnley win on that one, and I went for a
Yeah.
draw. So we scored. Neither of us scored on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we are. This is all about the Manchester United takeover. I apologize. I'm not disinterested. It's just I got news given to me, and I just wanted to make sure it was 100%. So that's
Right,
where I
okay.
was for a few minutes. Sorry. Now, Philip, go to then. We've got the 5:30 kickoff, of course. Wolves against New. Can I just point out, Philip, there was only 2-3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday.
Yeah,
the Premier League.
Yeah, because of the European matches, you know.
Yeah.
So
Wolves against Newcastle 2-2. Of course, Newcastle were leading 2-1. That was a 5:30 kickoff. You see from the stats, they're quite even game by the looks of it. Probably Newcastle a bit more possession than Wolves, Philip.
yeah.
Firstly, are the wheels falling off the Newcastle bandwagon? And secondly,
not really.
do you think Wolves are being a bit of a surprise package? Because they've started the season well, Wolves, to be fair. New manager.
Wolves are a difficult team to play against. Always were.
Yeah.
And we've got them in 2 weeks' time. That's going to be tricky. And we're away to them as well. I think this game hinged on one bizarre decision, awarding Newcastle for a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. I mean, most pundits say it wasn't a penalty. And how VAR made it out to be a penalty, only they know. But again, it's another example of VAR being operated by trained chimpanzees. Just cannot seem to get it right. You know, it's really, really strange. But Wolves in the second half came back at them, and this Hee Chin fella that plays along with Heung-min Son for Korea, decent player. And Gary O'Neill has done a great job there. He really has.
He has. He went in there, Philip, with 4 days before the season started, and absolutely, work wonders. So where do you put Wolves now? Where do you put Newcastle? Where do you see Newcastle going now the next few games? Because
I still think Newcastle are. Go on.
It's Newcastle now, Philip, at a point where they have to start picking up points because a lot of people had them in top 4.
I still think they're going to be top 6. They're going to be top 6. I'm not sure about top 4, but they are. They're not. They're underperforming. I think they blew PSG away and then go and draw with Wolves. You know, they're blowing hot and cold a wee bit. So I think they'll come. I think they've got your man. What do you call him? Wilson is scoring good for them. He's doing very well, and I think they will be top 6. Sorry.
He got a double on Saturday, so
yeah, he did. He did.
Where do you see? Look? Newcastle got a backing of a nation, right? Financially,
yeah.
Are you shocked where they are, Philip? Did you think they would have spent bigger than they have?
Yeah, I thought they would actually. And now that it's been a blow to them now to lose Tonali for 10 months.
Yeah,
for betting offences. Now that wasn't on the script.
Yeah, but it says it wouldn't bother them. Newcastle have already come out and said, look, it's not going to affect us, which I find that very hard to believe.
You spend 55 million quid on a player and it's not going to affect you. That's bullshit. They will affect them. It's going to affect their midfield because he was a good player, decent player.
So does January now for Newcastle become important again now to get more players?
Yeah, they'll just buy in. They'll dip into the piggy bank and they'll smash financial fair play and buy something else.
Now, look, I'm going to be fair to Newcastle here, Philip. And I think a lot of people can say we're not talking about Wolves and how well they're doing. Look, we will do. But I'm going to be fair to Newcastle here. They haven't done a Man City, Philip. They haven't gone out and spent money willy-nilly. They've tried to do it correctly. And I know your opinion on state ownership of football clubs. I know where you stand on that, which is a very valid points on most of what you say. But I will give Newcastle credit where credit's due. They haven't done what we thought they were going to do. They've done it sensibly. Do you think they've looked at Man City and Chelsea and thought, hang on a minute, we have to be a bit sensible how we do stuff here?
Yeah, I'll reserve judgment on how sensible they've been till after January. Could go mad in January. If they say your man Isaac got injured, and now they've got to replace the other guy that got suspended. So they have been fairly prudent up to now, but that may all change in January. And so I wouldn't give them too much praise just yet. At the end of January, maybe. maybe.
Yeah. We've got Colin saying here, big up Colin, says Scott McTominay to Newcastle in January. That could be one.
Yeah,
I don't know if
could
that
well
is
be.
that going to happen, Colin, or do you think that will happen? Let us know.
I'll tell you, United need him at the minute. He was one of the best
Did he?
players yesterday.
He was.
He had a great save. He forced a great save from Alisson.
Yeah, Philip.
Or what do you call Edison? Edison, if you call him.
I will gonna go. We are gonna go into that, but I'm gonna be very critical of Man United. They were awful yesterday. They really were.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. But look,
right.
Where did we stand in the Newcastle Wolves game, Philip?
Both of us had. You had Wolves to win 3-0, and I had Newcastle to win 2-0. So neither of us got anything there.
No. So who's okay? Now we go to Sunday, where there was a rake of games on Sunday, all at the same time nearly. Now this game was pushed back because the United game was pushed back to 3:30 for some bizarre reason. But apparently,
I think it's to do with the change of the time, the clock change or something.
Yeah, but I think it has something to do with the protests and stuff like that. I think. Now Everton, Bill Kenwright passing away, of course. Philip, big win for Everton. West Ham's third defeat on the trot. Everton, apart from the possession, dominated everything. Well, touches. West Ham had more passes. West Ham sort of dominated the stats there. You can see at the side. Do you think Everton have turned the corner, Philip, with that result?
Yeah, I think they have actually. I'm glad to see it too. I like Everton. I think that they've had a tough start. They had a rough game against Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and they've come pretty good since that. As for West Ham, this is another example of they're not fit to play midweek in Europe and play in the league at the weekend. They lost in midweek for the first time in Europe in a long time, and they come back to Everton. The game you'd expect West Ham to win, and didn't. And personally, I'm delighted for Everton, and we both predicted that Everton would win that match, and we were both right.
Yeah. Look, where do you think it's gone wrong for West Ham? Look, West Ham, with Barney the dinosaur and the bobber blowing happy mates down there, the like 4-year-old kids blowing bubbles. And Barney the dinosaur's doing it with them. Look, you can get away from that West Ham won a European trophy last season, Philip, to be fair. They won a Conference League, something that we didn't do. We didn't take it seriously. West Ham took it seriously, and they won the damn competition. Do you think winning that has given David Moyes a bit more credit in the bank to get him through these rough patches at West Ham that they're going through?
Yeah, it has, but the credit isn't unlimited. I think the natives will start to get restless now with a few more results like this, you know.
Yeah.
But it just proves you it's not easy to play on a Thursday night in Europe and play again on Sunday.
No,
especially another at home. They were away the other night. Sorry. So the travel and everything that's involved just take it out of teams. And I just don't think West Ham are just coping with it that well. And I hope long may continue, because I don't want to see West Ham doing anything.
No,
I think they're.
Yeah, and Everton, do you know, good.
Yeah, I think they've turned the corner. I think they've turned the corner. I think Sean Dyche has done a good job with them. Took time, and they're. The fact that Bill Kenwright died during the week was an extra incentive for them on Sunday, and fair dues to them. They got the result they wanted.
Do you think Ben Kenwright's passing played into something of that? The play.
Oh well, there'd always be. I wouldn't say it had a huge effect, but they would be playing for his memory. Yeah, they would. Yeah.
I say it would do, Philip. I say it would do. But look, we both predicted Everton win, so we both get 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Luton, little Luton, lost again. Villa 3-1. Of course, won their up at half time. The game, of course, was 2:00 kickoff at Villa Park. Possession wise, there you expect Villa to dominate the possession and the stats. Which they did. Are Villa the dark horses for European Champions League football, do you think, Philip?
Like Newcastle, the top 6. What position? I don't know. I think they are certainly playing well under Unai Emery. It pains me to say that. See an ex-Arsenal manager doing well in the Premiership. They've got a few decent players, like Ollie Watkins is playing very well. McGinn's a good player.
I would love him.
Luis is a good player.
Ollie Watkins.
And they've also got a late lamented Clement Longley in the squad as well. So Villa are no easy touch. They're a good team. Good team.
Yeah, I would quite like Ollie Watkins at Tottenham. I think he's a good player. He's a player
Yeah.
that could, and he seems to be playing quite well at the moment. Now, Luton, what can we say about Little Luton? We seem to have adopted Little Luton as our second team on this channel.
I think poor little Luton. They're doomed.
Luton
They're doomed.
survive?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'd be very surprised. Them and Sheffield United now, I think, are two of the relegation spots,
Well-
almost not guaranteed, but looking
Well,
very much like it.
Well,
I'd
at
love
the
to see them stay up. But
Yeah, well, at the moment, they're only a point behind Bournemouth, Luton. And they're only a point ahead of Burnley. And apart from that, Everton now are 5 points clear, and Forest are 5 points clear. So, it does show a win does get you up there. That does make you pull away a little bit.
True enough. True enough. I just don't think they've got the squad or the experience of Premiership football to survive.
No.
They will win the odd game and they'll shock an odd team or two, but I don't think they'll survive.
Did we both go for a Villa win?
No, you went for Luton win. 1-0, and I went for 5-0 to Villa, so I win that one.
Rigged. Now, Brighton against Fulham, of course, we beat Fulham 2-0 on Monday. Of course, Brighton sort of started the season well. The wheels have sort of come off the bandwagon, but they're sort of getting there. Evan Ferguson got a goal on Sunday as well, PHILLIP, so it's good for us.
Yeah.
Possession-wise, Brighton dominated. The stats sort of touches and passes and tackles. Brighton dominated Fulham at all. But it ended... It was a point, PHILLIP. So is that 2 points dropped by Brighton or a point gained by Fulham?
Well, it's a bit of both, really. I suppose 2 points dropped by Brighton because they would expect to win teams like the beat teams at that at home. But as we saw from Fulham the other night, they're a decent footballing side and don't make it easy for you. So I'm not surprised they've come back. And in Palhinha, he's a really, really good player. I like Palhinha a lot. So I think they'll be neither Brighton won't be satisfied with a point. Fulham, I think, will be delighted. No. 2 tough away matches and to get a point on the second one,
Well, Brighton at the moment are joint points with Newcastle in 7th to 6th, PHILLIP. It's only goal difference sort of keeping 3 points, 3 goals more. So, look, is there a group of teams, Villa, Newcastle, Brighton, Manchester United, in that sort of run for top 6?
The lower European places, there probably will be. Yeah. I think you can nearly divide the league in 2, top 10 and bottom 10.
Yeah. Chelsea are in the bottom 10, which is great to see.
Chelsea are 14 points behind us. Can you imagine that after 10 matches? That's incredible.
I know. Yeah.
And let's hope it's 17 points by next Monday.
3 wins out of 10 games for Chelsea. They're a point behind Brighton, which is shocking. It is shocking. Of course, Liverpool, PHILLIP.
I think the most thing I'd like to mention about this match is the shocking news from Colombia that Luis Diaz's parents been kidnapped. Now his mother has got away, I think, and
the mother was
the
father was rescued. Yeah, the father.
Sorry, I got that wrong.
But
they're going to shoot her if they don't get the money. They're going to shoot her apparently. Terrible. So that's I have no love for Liverpool at all, but you can't condone that type of thing. And obviously he wasn't playing on Saturday or Sunday. I don't think anyway.
Was it a comfortable win for Liverpool?
I think it was. It was very comfortable. I mean, much to know if you don't like Liverpool, they do dominate teams at home, and the Forest only had 1 shot on target, and 21 shots Liverpool had altogether. The touches were double, passes were treble. Tackles pretty much okay. Clearances, Forest had to make 31 against 11, so that tells you a lot.
Oh no, we got it wrong, PHILLIP. Big up to Colin says, from what I'm hearing, Eddie Hearn really likes him. This is Scott McTominay. I really likes him, and no, he wasn't. He was shocking, just like the other 10 players. We will get into
all
that.
I said was he was probably the best United player on the pitch. Doesn't mean he was any good.
I tell you one thing, PHILLIP. I watched it and I was dumbstruck by how bad United were.
I saw 3/4 of it. I didn't see the last 20 minutes.
We've got Geordie. How are the lads? Big up, Geordie. We have gone to Newcastle. We've done their game, but let us know what you thought of the result on Saturday for Newcastle. Are you happy or disappointed with a point away at Wolves? Let us know what you think of that. And then we've got Geordie said, no, his mother was rescued. They're
I was
searching
thinking
for
that
his
was it.
father.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was thinking
it's
that
the
was
other way
it.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's shocking, Philip. It really is shocking.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Colin, hide, look away, run for the hills.
Oh, by the way, both of us had Liverpool to win. By the way, pretty much.
Okay,
Oh no, sorry, you
now-
didn't. You had a 1-1 draw, damn it.
Yeah, I sort of went for the underdog last weekend. I won't do that mistake again.
Right.
I went for now. This game, Philip, I did a watch along with Bobby and Colin on the Full Time Sports Network. I have never seen a team as bad as I saw Manchester United just give up in a Manchester derby. It was shocking. It reminded me of a lot how we played last season. It reminds me of a lot how the atmosphere within the club was the same as us last season. Where do you put? Do you agree with that? Do you agree Manchester United are like us last season?
This season's Tottenham. We were the same. Somebody put it the other day or this morning. Manchester United are a club with a lot of good players, but no team. That whatever's happening there, the team is not gelling. For one thing, I think the problem stems from the fact that Bruno Fernandes is captain. He is not captain material. I'm sorry. The guy spends the whole game moaning and groaning at the referee. Anyone else that'll listen. I don't think he's the type of guy that should be captain of your club. And I think Ten Hag was going to have to address that a bit more. What I did see a bit now, Rashford missed a couple of great chances. McTominay had a great save out of Edison. You did create a couple of chances in patches in the game, but for most of the time, City were just playing with you, literally tapping the ball around and playing with you.
Look, Man City, right? For me, look, we got Man City in a couple of weeks, Philip. I think we can get we can get something out of from Main Road, what it used to be called before it became the Etihad. Do you feel United? I don't know where to go with United because it seems to be a club that's fallen apart, Philip. They are 300 million out to other clubs, right, for players that they've bought. They're now in the. I mean, I heard Gary Neville saying yesterday, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So we'll sack the managers and we get another manager in. They've spent over 1 billion on players. Now, I think, is it 1 billion? Maybe Colin can correct me on that. Where do you think, what's going to take for United to shake them out of this hole they're in, Philip? Because we can all praise Man City. They're the treble winners. They're fantastic at playing football. But what got me yesterday was the way United gave up that Manchester derby.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I know how we'd feel now if we went at Arsenal visiting and they beat us 3-0 and beat us convincingly like that. We'd be up in arms about it. And in fact, a lot of the fans voted with their feet. They left before the end of the game. I think the Glazer thing is affecting the whole club. That needs to be sorted out ASAP because it seems to be no one seems to know what they can do. I mean, obviously they're so much in debt now. They've nowhere to go on the financial front until the new ownership takes place, whenever that does, if it ever does. And I think you've got to sort out your players. That you've got the likes of Sancho not talking to the manager. I mean, that's. I mean, Colin, I know you're a big fan of Ten Hag, but I mean, there's got to be questions asked now about the substitution they made at half time yesterday. What happened? Immediately backfired and City scored another goal. You know, tactically, is he up to the job? I mean, I'm not saying he isn't, but yesterday that substitution more or less gifted City a second goal, and you weren't able to recover from that.
What got me yesterday, Philip, was it reminded me a lot of Tottenham under Conte, where there's such a disconnection from the boardroom to the football side of the club, to the manager, to the players, to the fans. Everything's disconnected.
Yeah.
I don't think Ten Hag's the problem. I don't think he is, but I think he's under an awful lot of strain.
Yeah.
I think it's on an awful lot of pressure from certain players. And I think he's got what we had in our dressing room, a lot of discontent, a lot of players that don't care about wearing the shirt of Manchester United. Colin, now, to be fair, did say Ten Hag had to go last night. And he did put it in the show. He did say last night.
Yeah, I was saying that, Colin. I know Colin was a big fan of
Yeah.
Ten Hag, but has it now reached the point of no return for him?
Well,
but then again, who's going to come in? Who's going to want Man United at the moment are a poisoned chalice to take over? Who's going to want that job?
But you know that club, Philip, right? The stadium's falling apart. And Gary Neville said it yesterday on his podcast on Sky on YouTube. Now, I would urge everyone to watch that podcast because I watched it yesterday and I found it very interesting what he said, Philip. He was asked, if you were to buy Manchester United, what would you do? And he said, firstly, build a fantastic stadium, a fantastic training facility, and fantastic facilities for fans. Make it an enjoyable trip to Old Trafford, and then build the foundations. Now, what has a certain Mr. Levy done at Tottenham, Philip? He's built a fantastic He's built a fantastic stadium, training facilities, laid down the foundations of to build upon, and now we're getting the fruits of. We've got Anjin, we've got a team in that can do the job right, and hopefully now we're going to see flowers from that working in the garden.
Yeah, but I think at this stage, Dermot, a decent team is the most pressing thing for Manchester United. You can have all the new stadiums you want now, but at the moment, they're in a position where the players need to be looked at, and they need to be got at.
Look, you can blame. Look, I'm going to say something here now, and I thought I'd never say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to disagree with what you're saying, not in what you're saying, but I'm going to disagree with the point you just made. We know from Tottenham, Philip, we can blame all the players and all the managers you want, right? We've seen it for 4 years at Spurs, Mourinho, Nuno, Conte, Poch. We can blame all the players, and the players are rightly to get blamed. And the managers are rightly to get blamed. But if you at the top of the tree haven't got it right, Philip, if you've got a boardroom that is broken, that is divided, that they're only there for themselves, they're only there to take dividends out of the football club, how can that filter down to the footballing side, to the scouts, to the director of football, to the manager, to the players? How's that going to filter down? Because there's going to be disconnection all the way down to there. So you've got players thinking, well, if the owners don't give a shit, why should we give a shit? And then you've got the manager thinking, well, I'm finding that I can't get money off Mr. Glazer to go and buy players I want, and the players I'm bringing in don't give a shit. And if I slag off that player, he's going to go run into the Glazers like Eric Dyer used to run to Daniel Levy. We want this manager out. So,
like I said, it's a poison chalice. It's a terrible job at the moment.
What needs to happen, Philip? Look, we all know Manchester United are in a shit show at the moment. We know that. Financially, stadium has fallen apart. Financially, they owe money out everywhere. 300 million they owe on players. Have you ever heard of any era, Philip, that you've watched football, Manchester United in this much of a shit show, basically?
Well,
and I'm sorry, Colin, and we do give United. We're not having to go at the fans, but having to go at the club and the owners. But have you ever seen it as bad as this, Philip?
No, I mean, I actually feel very sorry for Manchester United fans at the minute. And I don't think I'd say that, but I hate seeing a club that everyone else looked up to as a pillar of the way things should be, right? To have now descended into a kind of a mess through basically bad ownership, which filters down, and the whole club now is suffering for want of lack of finance, lack of ability to redo up the stadium. I mean, 10 years ago, Old Trafford was one of the best stadiums in the world.
Can I
I'd like to ask Colin now, has the Glazers spent any money on the club on the ground since they came in? I doubt if they have.
Yeah, I'll make a point on that, Philip. Euro 1996, Old Trafford was used as a semi-final for that competition.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe I'll go back a bit further than we want to do, but I mean, Old Trafford was always the Mecca, the theatre of dreams. Now it's the theatre of nightmares. That's it. You know.
Is there any connection between Tottenham, how we were, to Man United? Can you see a connection between the two, Philip, or do you think it's a bit different what happened with us over the last 4 years to what we're seeing at Old Trafford?
God, you need to analyze each thing. Okay, we haven't had an ownership struggle apart from a lot of the fans wanting Levy out. I think what's happened in the last 5 years at Tottenham has been upward curve. We've gone from the stadium holding 36,000 to one holding 62. Training ground facilities, bringing in mega bucks from other activities at the ground. United has stood still under the Glazers. We've moved past them. We've moved past them in terms of achievement, not on the pitch, but off the pitch.
No. Do you think off the pitch, Tottenham is a blueprint to follow?
With reservations, yes, because we've got, like, most football grounds lie idle for 2 weeks at a time. Basically, we're not allowing that to happen. We're making money out of that ground when it's not being used for sort of football, and as I think other teams should take a leaf out of that. I see others have tried to do it to a lesser extent, but I think we've got the fair dues to Levy for having the gumption to try that out, and getting in with the NFL was great as well. So I think we moved ahead, and Collins had the saying that the Glazers spent no money on the ground in 15 years. That's incredible. Yeah. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I mean, look, he says also, and Ten Hag stuck with players that can't play the system he wants to play, and us too stubborn to change his philosophy. We had that under Conte, didn't we? He was too stubborn, and you know that. And then we've got Colin also saying that the club is dysfunctional from top to bottom. Glazers using us as an ATM. People as head of football and CEOs don't have a clue. Fitness coaches that ain't suitable for the job.
Yeah. See, I don't know what the like. I know we tend to bring in a team of fitness coaches, but although Ange Postecoglou has brought in you guys, which again is a breath of fresh air. I'm not criticizing Poch, but he's brought his own guys with him to Chelsea. Maybe they're a bit stale.
Now, just to end this, Philip, because I know you've got to shoot, and we do have a pre-record to do, which we'll get you the plug in a minute, Philip.
Yeah.
Now, Qatar are not out the race for United. Now, this is the very latest I've been given. Manchester United takeover during the interview with Abu Dhabi media yesterday. The group involved in funding Sheikh Jazam Al Thani to buy Manchester United. During the interview, Mansour Ebehem was asked about the takeover, and he said this: "Yes, it's true. Our group is involved in funding the chairman of the Qatar Islamic Bank, Sheikh Jazam Al Thani, in acquiring Manchester United PLC. Jazam told us about his ambition to own Manchester United and how hopefully it will. Talks are still ongoing. 9 billion has been given to Sheikh Jazam. Reports of 6 billion offer for the club to put forward soon." And then he also goes down to say, it says here on Twitter, is it true? And Jazam put in, chief strategist of the digital officer of the Qatar Islamic Bank said he can confirm that they've submitted a compelling offer for Manchester United that exceeds their market valuation. So this could run from.
As I said to you earlier, Joe, I only fall asleep when I hear the word Glazer and takeover mentioned at this stage. The Glazers want to keep a piece of Manchester United. That offer would not allow them to do so. So that's why I don't think it's going to happen.
No. Very quickly, Philip, before we finish, this is the Premier League, because there's old Tottenham Hotspur, the old cockerel up top there.
Yeah.
We are now 3 points clear of Arsenal, 3 points clear of Manchester United, 5 points clear. 3 points. No, we're not.
2 points clear. We're 2 points clear.
2 points clear, sorry, and 3 points clear, and 5 points clear of Aston Villa. And then at the bottom three, then Sheffield United 1 point, Burnley 4 points, Luton 5, Bournemouth on 6, then Forest and Everton respectively on 10 points, Philip. Very quickly, I know you've got to go. Just one thing, Philip. Where is it now? Team of the week for you.
I think I'll give it to Brentford for beating Chelsea.
I think. Do you know what? I'd have to agree with you. I was going to give it to Spurs, but I thought that'd be a bit.
No,
We're
apart from
up there.
Spurs, apart
Yeah,
from Spurs,
apart
yeah,
from Spurs.
yeah.
Now, Philip. So Brentford is our team of the week. Now, where are we doing later? Because we've got something exciting coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, Norman Giller, the famous journalist and author, is coming on the podcast. We're doing it later on this evening. Norman is written a book called The G-Men, which is about Jimmy Greaves and Alan Gilzean. That's the cover of it there. And he's coming on to discuss that. And Norman has been supporting Spurs for 70 years. And he is a real character. We had a chat with him this morning. And if this goes the way we think it'll go, it'll be well worth watching tomorrow. Because he's a real especially watch out for the start of it. He's going to give us all the lowdown on what happened to Tottenham over the years, and going to ask what he thinks of the present regime and how we're going to go. Because I know he's very, very, very positive about that. So that'll be on tomorrow afternoon at 4:00.
Yeah, it will be. And then me and Philip, of course, are back on Wednesday at 4. I'm going on to Ashmatic's channel tomorrow night at 9:30. So you can find me over there. Because me and Philip are back, of course, on Wednesday. Now, next Friday. Now, this is how this is going to go. Next few days, we've got Newsbeat, course, every day at 4:00. We've got the Premier League preview, which is going to be pre-recorded on Thursday to go out on Friday evening at 10:00. Our preview of the Premier League weekends for myself and Philip. Saturday, we're going to do something during the day, aren't we, Philip? Saturday, with a watch Golden Game and keeping up with all the goals and everything like that. And then Sunday, of course, it's the build-up to the Tottenham Chelsea, and also and then Monday, of course, it's the watch along. And we've got we're going to do a little predicted lineup as well, 5-minute pre-record as well, where me and Philip predict the lineup and go through that. Philip, thank you so much indeed for joining me today. So we've got the G-Men on tomorrow on our Cockerel Clock podcast. I wish we could do it live, Philip. I really wish we could have done that live.
No. Well, as you said this morning, we had a bit of a technical issue this morning.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to do it again this evening. So, we've advertised it for 4:00, so we'll leave it at that.
It'll be on tomorrow.
I have to shoot off now. I'll see you back in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to let go now. Come on, you Spurs in Big Ange, we trust.
See you later.